ಹೆಲೋ ನನ್ನ ಮುದ್ದಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? How was the paper, students, today? Biology CET paper. I know it was a very easy paper, right? How much are you expecting? Are you expecting almost, a very great marks? Okay, do you know the answers for the question? Yeah, today we are going to discuss the answers here, student. I, Dr. Smita Ma'am and Karthik, is going to discuss the question paper of today's biology paper with you, right? Okay, students, are you here with me? Okay, let us start with the first question now. Before that, we'll quickly analyze the paper. How was the paper? Paper actually easy to students. If you see, majority of the questions were actually the easy type and very few were the difficult type question. Andre, on an average, a student can score easily between 30 to 35 marks. Yes, student, or little more than that also, students. Let us now go to very important aspect, very, as from the beginning I was telling you, the paper was actually strictly from the NCERT text, which I always told you about the paper type. What was the question? They were picked directly from the NCERT. And that is what, students, for biology, you have to go through line to line, word to word NCERT. Let us now take some questions from this paper here. Yes, okay, do you think the standards are being set? No, today's paper was actually a good standard paper. Okay, fine. Let us go to the question 1. Question 1, nodi, so easy question. The male sex accessory ducts include red testes, differentia, seminal vesicle, vas difference, and testes, vasa differentia. Answer B is the correct option here. The next question, match the list. I will just match and you tell me it's option A, B, C or D. It's about the structure of the human sperm. Again, if you know the diagram of NCERT, then this is a very simple question. Head, acrosome, middle phase, tail. Okay, just start with the head. Head filled with enzyme or contains mitochondria or haploid. Head contains the haploid nucleus. Acrosome filled with enzyme. Middle piece and the tail. Tail with sperm motility and middle piece contains mitochondria. You match the whatever, as this is a match, you find out what is the answer A, B, C or D, because this confuses me a lot, okay, because there are different slides. Okay, now go to the next question. Question number 3, about the embryo sac. Which pair of the following cells in the embryo sac are destined to change their ploidy level after fertilization? If you remember, in the center you have a central cell, right? Yes, it is the egg cell and the central cell which undergo ploidy changes after fertilization. Next one, in female reproductive system, a tiny finger-like structure which lies at the upper junction of the two labia minora above the urethral opening is called as clitoris. Again, a very straightforward question. Next one, consider the following statements with reference to the female reproductive system. Statement 1, the presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity or sexual experience. 2, the sex of the fetus is determined by the father and not by mother. Both these statements are correct, students. So here the answer is going to be both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Next one, MTPs are considered relatively safe during which it is going to be the first trimester. Again, a very simple question, students. This was really completely as per the NCERT. Directly they have placed the lines of the NCERT. Next, 7th question. Which of the following statements is correct? Sickle cell anemia is a quantitative problem, or female carrier for hemophilia may transmit the disease to sons. Yes, it's a correct, and rest all 3 are wrong statements. Next one. Gene mapping technology was developed by student. You remember, student, this was given in one of the previous paper of biology CT, which we had already discussed. Yes, regarding the gene mapping, little slightly they have changed the question. That's it. Okay, find the correct statement. Generally, okay, generally they're asking the correct statement, right? Generally, a gene regulates a trait, but sometimes one gene has effect on multiple traits. Second one, the trait AB blood group of man is regulated by one dominant allele and another recessive allele. Hence, it is codominant. If you see, If it has to be codominance, that means both A and B has to get expressed. But that means what? So statement 2 is actually wrong. Okay, let us go to the next one now. Okay, match the column. From the following table, select the option that correctly characterizes various phases of menstrual cycle. That is point number A, that is option A. Which of the following is abbreviated as ZIFT, Z-I-F-T? Zygote intrafallopian transfer. Again, a very straightforward question. Nodidra? Tumba simple question ide idu, and if you compare with the NEET paper, idu question tumba short ide, nimda time waste agudilla in reading the question. Okay, go to the next one now. An example of hormone releasing IUD is LNG20. Next one, eukaryotic genes are monocistronic. I hope you know what is monocistronic and polycistronic. One gene, one protein was monocistronic, specific feature of the eukaryotes from molecular basis chapter. But they are split gene because exons are interrupted by introns, right? Okay. Next one, lacoperon was given by very simple Jacob-Monod's experiment, lacoperon, which is not an example of adaptive radiation. All the three are examples except this. So this is the correct answer. Long-necked giraffe is an example of natural selection. Okay. In a population of 800 rabbits, okay, showing Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, the frequency of recessive individuals was 0.16. What is the frequency of heterozygous? If you calculate, the answer is going to be 0.48. Next question. In male heterogamety, look at that. From the word heterogamete only you can derive the answer. Yes, to simple question it is, students. Type of sex determination is going to be male parent produce dissimilar gametes is actually the answer. Very simple, connected to the question itself. Okay, 18th question. In one of the hybridization experiments, a homozygous dominant parent and a homozygous recessive parent are crossed for a trait. Plant shows Mendelian inheritance. Dominant parent trait appears in F1 and recessive parent in F1, F2. No. If you see option 1 and D, dominant parent traits appear in both F1 and F2 and recessive parent traits appear only in F2. Option D is a correct answer. Histone proteins are positively charged because they are rich in basic amino acids, that is arginine and lysine. Very, very straightforward, students. With respect to inbreeding, which among the following is false? Not true. It helps in elimination of less desirable. It helps to evolve a pure line. Inbreeding decreases. In fact, inbreeding decreases. It's going to be the correct answer here, which is actually not true with the case of what? The inbreeding technology. Identify from the following a pair of better yielding semi-dwarf. Jaya and Ratna are the varieties of rice developed. Okay, Jaya and Ratna. In MOET technique, okay, in cattle breeding program, it's one of the famous technique. Fertilized eggs are transferred into surrogate mother in which of the following stage? That is 8 to 32 celled stage. Roquefort cheese is ripened by fungi. See, look at the level of questions. These are the simplest type of the questions which are very, very straightforward. 4 students were assigned a science project to find out the pollution levels, right? So how will you detect the pollution level? The biochemical oxygen demand, BOD. From that we can make out the type of the water body. Is it less or least or not polluted? After analyzing the quality of water sample, the BOD values were found as follows. Which of the following water samples is highly polluted? Highly polluted, highest concentration, this one. So according to all the 4 options, 6 mg per liter is nothing but the high amount of the BOD, which indicate the water is actually more polluted. More the BOD, that means more is going to be the pollution. Yes, right? Toxic substance hemozoin. When I talk about the word hemozoin, human health and disease, hemozoin malaria, that is nothing but the simplest answer here. I think this was one of the easiest paper this time been asked, right? Okay, next one. Identify the symptoms of pneumonia. When you think about pneumonia, it is not going to infect the nose, it is actually going to infect the lungs. So what is the correct option here? Is it nasal congestion? No, it is going to be difficulty in breathing, fever, chills, cough, headache, right? Okay. Variety of Pusa savani is resistant to which of the following insect pests? That is option A. Choose the incorrect, wrong statement with reference to kangaroo rat. Now, kangaroo rat is actually surviving in arid, dry conditions. So, is it going to waste water or is it going to conserve water? Yes. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಡೆಸರ್ಟ್ ರೀಜನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನೀರು ಸಿಕ್ಕುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ರೀಸನ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಕನ್ಸರ್ವ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಾಂಗ್. It will not eliminate dilute urine. Generally, bears avoid winters by undergoing hibernation. Hibernation is winter sleep. Aestivation is summer sleep to avoid unfavorable climatic conditions, right? Match column 1 with 2. Select the option with correct combination. Very simple. Detritivores break down, right? Detritus into small particles. Pioneer species. Species has invaded a barren area, right? Standing crop. Living matter. Standing state, amount of nutrients in the soil at a given time. As I said, this confuses me a lot. I am just going to match and you are going to find out what is it. Option A, B, C or D. Okay. Question 1. PCR. What is PCR? Polymerase chain reaction. Last year there was a question about PCR. Yes, 3 questions were asked repeatedly and again here you find this time PCR for DNA amplification. Which of these is not a method to make host cell competent to take up DNA? I hope you remember in our DNA technology, new cells inject martivi, the recombinant DNA, right? So which are the one? These are the 3 different ways and yes, this is not connected with the competent cells interfering with the rDNA, recombinant DNA molecule. Select the correct statement from the following. The first step in PCR is heating, which is used to separate both the strands of gene of interest. Yes, it's a correct statement. DNA from one organism will not band. Wrong. Again, works only animals, not successfully. Very wrong. No high risk. In fact, there is risk, okay? There are some side effects associated with those rDNA or genetically modified foods. So, answer is going to be option A. Next one. I come back to this question, student. Related to this, there was one question been asked last year. It was regarding the organism used for the extraction of the enzyme, that was Staq polymerase, right? So this is connected with PCR again. So remember, next year also consider PCR a very, very important topic. Okay, fine. Next one. Question 34. A flower has 10 stamens, each having bilobe, diathecus, anther. Each microsporangium has 5 PMCs. How many pollen grain? If you calculate, you get point. That is option A. During transcription in the formation of RNA from the DNA. And I hope you remember the enzyme required. What was the enzyme? Namge name heltira? DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Why it was DNA dependent RNA polymerase? Because with the help of the DNA, it is going to synthesize the RNA. And remember one thing, the main prime condition of the enzyme was it can synthesize only from 5 prime to 3 prime. So your RNA is going to get synthesized from 5 prime to 3 prime. So start targeting that option. Yes, if you see, this is the correct option. DNA dependent RNA polymerase, always synthesized from 5 prime to 3 prime, right? Okay. Next one. According to David Tillman's long-term ecosystem experiments, the total biomass in plot with more than species shows this is less variation from year to year. The toxic heavy metals from various industries which cause pollution normally have a density of more than 5 gram per centimeter cube. Identify the correct option showing the relative contribution of different greenhouse gases. There's a pie diagram being shown in your text and this is a very simplest question. If you see, this is option C. CFC 14%, 60% methane, 20% yes. So this is again, as I said, a very, very straightforward question. Next one, from human health and disease. Chalo, let us match now. Haemophilus influenzae, pneumonia, entamoeba histolytica amoebiasis, plasmodium falciparum malignant malaria, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ರಾಫ್ಟಿ ಎಲಿಫೆಂಟಿಯೇಸಿಸ್ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನನಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ, ಬಿ, ಸಿ ಆರ್ ಡಿ? ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಟೂಲ್ಸ್ or techniques of genetic engineering, I mean to say recombinant DNA technology, adರಲ್ಲಿ which are the required equipments or things for cloning a bacterial gene? You are going to take a gene from bacteria and put it into the animal cells and choose the correct option. You will need REN, restriction endonuclease, for cutting the DNA, that is the gene of interest. You would not require tumefacients or gene gun method or cellulase because it doesn't have a cell wall. You will require ligase for joining the DNA, microinjection and lysozyme, and also electrophoresis. So here if you see, all these are found in option D, right? Okay, again a very simple question being framed from the steps involved in recombinant DNA technology. 41st question. Identify the wrong statement regarding the flow of energy in the food chain. Green plants capture, is it 10% or is it 1%? It's just 1%. So here the statement is, that is the correct option. Statement wrong here, right? Option A. Rest all the options are correct. Okay. Fine. 42nd. Find out the correct match. Filariasis, wrong. Dysentery, protozoa, right, but then it is wrong. Intestine, ringworm, fungus, skin, correct. Typhoid, and here it is going to be wrong. So option C is the correct answer. Fine. Okay. Identify the floral formula of potato family. Option C. When the vascular cambium is present, if it is present, it is going to open. If it is absent, then it is going to be closed type. Okay. The answer is option D here. The function of thiophlosol in earthworm. Thiophlosol, a very important characteristic shown, is present in the intestine for increasing the surface area for absorption, right? This was a very famous characteristic which was shown by the earthworm. Now, which of them is correctly matched with their order? Nodi salpa illi. Homo sapiens is actually primate. Mangifera sapindales, Triticum aestivum should be with poales. The correct one is Diptera, that is Musca domestica. Next one, match column 1. So here you can expect, little time consuming. In fact, even the NEET paper had many such match the columns, and somewhere you can find in this paper also, compared to last year E-type our question tumba this time they have asked. Okay, Bryophyta, okay, Sphagnum, Gymnosperm pinus, Algae, Ectocarpus, Pteridophyte, Adiantum. New Haley option A, B or C or D. Flame cells. When you remember the word flame cells, the answer should be in your mind or at the fingertip. Flame cells in Platyhelminthes. Excretion, osmoregulation, right? Okay. Match column 1 with 2. Hypertonic. Let me go to the very simplest one. Capillarity, water raising due to in thin tubes. Symport, same direction. Sim means same. Hypertonic, external solution more concentrated than cell sap. Left out is guttation. Hydatodes guttation. Where is it? Water loss in the form of droplets. You match. I have given the match and you are going to find out whether it is A, B or C or D. Okay. Next one. Toxicity of which micronutrient induces deficiency of iron, magnesium and calcium? That is option A, manganese. The next question, question number 51. Okay, we move to the question number 51. Considering the stroke volume of an adult healthy human being is 70 ml, identify the cardiac output in 1 hour from the following. If you calculate, you get the option A, the correct answer. Function of contractile vacuole. Again, very simple question. Contractile vacuole amoeba. When you think of contractile vacuole, search for excretion and osmoregulation, right? Excretion and osmoregulation. Option C. Match list 1 with 2. This is also one of the repeated questions, students, right? With the previous year, same question was been asked with respect to proteins and their functions. Very simple, trypsin. Only they have changed the order of trypsin and collagen, right? Trypsin was first in the previous paper. Trypsin with enzyme, collagen with the ground substance, insulin is a hormone, and antibody fights infectious agent. ನೀವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ನನಗೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವುದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, the complex formed by a pair of synapsed homologous chromosomes. Students, similar question last year also they have asked. They were talking about the sub-stages in prophase 1. Same question they have put in a different manner. Yes, the answer here is bivalent, option A. Bamboo species flowers only once in lifetime, that also between 50 to 100 years, only in once in lifetime. Very, very, very simple, straightforward question. In bryophyllum, again a very famous question. Asexual, or you can say vegetative mode of propagation, right? Arise buds, adventitious buds arise from shoot apex. No, it is going to be notches in the leaf margin. Primary endosperm nucleus, that is PEN. Even last year there is a question on PEN. Now you can remember, those who are going to appear the next year students, see to it that these are repeated from the same subtopic student. So you can please emphasize on those subtopics of the chapter. This is coming from sexual reproduction in flowering plants, right? So PEN nucleus is formed by the fusion of 2 polar nucleon 2 male gametes and 2 polar nucleon 1 male gamete, 1 polar. So it's going to be 2 polar nucleon 1 male gamete, option C. This is the diagrammatic presentation of a heart. Again here things little not clear, yes, but very straightforward. The answer is going to be option C here. ANF, atrial natriuretic factor, acts as, again, check on the renin-angiotensin mechanism. And the last question, the vibrations from the eardrum are transmitted through ear ossicles to the oval window. Yes, now entire paper ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಈಸಿ ಇತ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್, ಐ ವಾಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ಲಿ ಬಿನ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಯು, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 5 year ಪೇಪರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ರಫ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಬ್ಯಾಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಬ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಆಸ್ಡ್, right? So I hope the students who are going to appear for the next year, please take this as a standard paper. Try to understand the topics which are repeatedly been asked in past 4 to 5 years, right? So students, I have here done with the complete analysis of the Karnataka CET Biology 2023 paper. I wish you all the best students, and yes, ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಪೇಪರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೈಂಡ್ ದ ಲಿಂಕ್ ದೇರ್. And yes students, if you have any doubt regarding the question paper analysis, please drop in a message at the comment box. I hope you like the video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Bye then, I sign off for today's lecture. Thank you students.